mountains,
rivers,
streams,
birds, flowers, new growth.
It's amazing. You know, one of my sons today did the sweetest thing. Now, you may think this is just not a good thing, but I just thought it was the sweetest thing. He texted me and he said, "Happy Mother's Day. Can you go pick a bunch of wild flowers and put them in a vase from me?" And I just thought, that's the sweetest thing, because one of our favorite John Denver songs is "Wildflowers in a Mason Jar." And so we put them in a mason jar, and we're up here in the mountains, just as far as we could go, which wasn't very far.
They still have the road closed. I think it's going to get open soon, but it's closed.
We wanted to talk a little bit about homesteading and doing it when you're over 60.
Or to the point that most people think you ought to get away from the hard things of homesteading.
Or for all you young people like the Hollers who have the nerve to go for it.
Oh, yeah.
But specifically to the senior group. As you know, if you've been following us for a long period of time, that we have just left a homestead of 15 acres. And we are moved to another homestead. Although I'm not sure our daughter and our son-in-law ever called their home a homestead.
They will before you know.
They will. And what we want to tell you is that true homesteaders have an unconquerable spirit. What is it that you wrote to somebody this week?
Well, homesteading is doing what you can with what you have.
Yeah.
So.
And so we gave up the mortgage. We gave up the farm. And we have a travel trailer that we love, that's ours, that we can park.
Yeah, I know we've said this before. I believe it needs reiterated. We struggled with the decision to move to Missouri, away from family. We moved with the decision to move away from family after we looked and looked and looked, couldn't find anything that we could afford, and felt that we very much wanted to have our own place, and that drove us to make some decisions that kind of set some of our values aside, and our values being family values.
Not that we did anything wrong, we just didn't get to be by our family.
Right, and that was a compromise we felt we needed to make. And as we faced some life challenges, we realized that more important than having our own land somewhere was being closer to our families.
We have a viewer who is leaving Texas and moving up to Washington, where their family is, and they've really struggled with this, giving up their homestead down there and going up with their family. And we understand that struggle. First of all, we do want to say, we know we did not make a mistake. We do not feel like we made a mistake in getting our homestead in Missouri. It was an amazing year. We
learned a lot. We got to see a lot about ourselves, and we found out how much we really like having our own homestead and an ideal situation, the value of outbuildings and infrastructure being in place.
And animals.
Yes. So it was very educational for us, exposed us to a lot of great things, many lessons learned, certainly not wasted.
But now we are so excited to be able to take our little two-wheel tractor and make some really good gardens. And in fact, our daughters told several people, and they're like, they've got to teach us how to make a garden in this area. So,
as if we know this area really well.
Yes, but we've done it in
the
areas
basics
like
are the basics, though.
Yeah. And we know we made it grow in southern Utah, where we had winters of 30 below and summers of 110. And
similar to what this is going to be like.
Yeah, exactly. And sagebrush. So this is okay. We're excited. We just want you to know that there are so many different kinds of homesteaders, and you can go for this. You can go for this. We've said this before.
Yes.
We have not given up our dream. We've just moved it and we're ready to plug in this
Well,
week.
we didn't just move it, though. We've changed it a bit. We've adapted it to the situation that we have. And that's what everybody has to do. That's why I say do what you can with what you have. So take an inventory of what you have or what's possible. You know, think out of the box, think off the farm, think out of your situation, and how can you use, you know, determine what's really available to you. Don't just think, well, all I have is a windowsill. Well, okay, maybe there's more available to you. I think about Curtis Stone and his urban gardening that he does. He doesn't let the fact that his yard is only however many square feet stop him. He finds land other places. Everybody has something available to them that is beyond what they may first imagine is available. So really do an analysis, total inventory of what's possible. And then when you see what's available to you, decide, what is it I want to do with all of this? And do it. Don't imagine up that you can't, that you're not as good as, you won't do what somebody else has done.
We had introduced to us this week, and I'm going to say her name, Kathy wrote to me, and she and her husband are in their 70s, and they got their homestead a year ago. I couldn't be more proud. I'm so thrilled for them.
Many people they're not waiting for us to say it, they're doing it. But what we're saying to everybody who's wondering how they can, what's possible, can I really do it? You're among many who are doing it. So don't decide that you can't. Look around you and see that many people are doing it.
So we have 4 things that we have always stood for. The Heartiness approach is, number 1, real food. Number 2,
exercise. Is that why you're pointing at me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fitness.
Fitness. You got to be fit. You've really got to be fit.
Real food, fitness, emotional wellness, and
we're going to do it on a homestead.
We're doing it on a homestead.
And a homestead, once again, isn't 15 acres out in some pristine pasture area, okay? A homestead can be on the balcony of your apartment. It can be your backyard. It can be your front yard. It can be the vacant lot down the street. It can be any number of things, but it's where you do what you can do. We
are convinced that the way you can take care of your health is to grow your food. And the way you grow your food is in good soil. It can be in pots, it can be whatever, but grow it. His sister, we just got her a bunch of plants, tomatoes and peppers, and she just kept labeling them off, and she's putting them all in pots, and it's going to be great. We're so proud of her.
Because she's waiting for the last snow to hit.
Yes, she is. Anyway, don't give up. You can grow your own food. You can be healthy. We are absolutely convinced that your health depends on what you eat, how you exercise, your emotional wellness. And we say on a homestead because that's the way you get your food.
It's the best way.
We're showing you a beautiful river, a little creek that we're sitting next to. I told them for Mother's Day, I just want a little drive up into the mountains. So that's what we're doing. That's where we're at.
It ended up being a littler drive than we planned because the road is still closed.
Road's closed.
We did what we could.
That's what a homesteader does. So get a pot and plant something that you can eat this week. We cannot explain enough how you have control over your health, and your health depends on what you eat. That is your medicine, your food that you put in your mouth. Right?
Absolutely.